All right, everyone. Welcome back to Fairmount Crest, where the secrets are scandalous and the stakes are sky high. And the drama inside the gates has officially hit a boiling point. Last week on Beyond the Gates, the upscale community was rocked by massive confrontations, shocking returns, and devastating grief. If you missed a single second of the chaos, grab your handkerchiefs and anticipate the perpetual mischief. Let's go beyond these gates. All right, so here we are. We are here for the week of May 25th episode of Beyond the Gates. Of course, the 25th of May was Memorial Day, so we were down to 4 episodes. So we are on the back of everyone losing Derek. And so we start off kind of on a somber note within the Fairmount community. Now, on the outside, sad to say, no one's really mourning Derek. I know it sounds so bad. This sounds so bad. Of course, I want the young man to get his coins or whatever, but as far as the character goes, everybody's like, okay, so what's next? Oh no, that's horrible. So, speaking of the memorial, before we get into like actual questions about feelings and things like that, the way that they set the tone for the memorial, with how everyone from the fire station that could be there and those things, how did you feel about that display of how they honored him in that way?
It was cool. I guess the only thing that I was looking for was old girl that had a crush on him. Like, where was she? And of course the two that showed up, I remember that, there were guys that he was cool with, but I didn't remember if they were the same guys or not. But it was missing her because they made a point of, including her into his storyline. And so it was like, where's she at?
That is a great point. I didn't even think about it. And so that's just how much the storyline with Derek is like every time it comes on, I inevitably just check out, just fall asleep, or, and I know it's just so bad. It's so bad. Right. And it ain't but 30 minutes. So, fast forward past his 3.5 minutes or whatever screen time he got, I know it's so horrible. But that's true. That's a valid point. I did like the way they set the tone. I felt like as a viewer, even though I did not enjoy him as a character very much, the way in which they honored him I thought was solid. And so I appreciated that piece. So now that Derek has tragically died after taking the bullet for Grayson and Jacob, do you feel like Ashley will find a way to move past her profound guilt? Or will this tragedy destroy her completely?
I need her to move past it because I'm tired of seeing her cry. It's so boring. It's so, oh my God. Ugh. And not to say that I wouldn't cry if I had a loved one, but I mean, my goodness, like having everybody over at a house and making paper planes and all of that. I'm like, oh, come on now.
It was a solid friendship move, the way in which Naomi showed up for her. But I do not disagree that some of that we could have fast forwarded through or just written out completely, if we're being honest, or just did it in a different way. I don't know. I guess she had to do something. And so there it is. Here we are. We're going to make paper planes, even though this was Naomi's thing, to help her relax before anything major. Y'all have been friends for decades, and this is the first time that she done told you about these paper planes.
And another thing, Punil. I'm like, who the hell is Punil? Where does that come from? Who is Punil? And what Punil?
And now I shall name all of my exes Punil. I saved you. Now I don't even think about you. Who deal? That is the stupidest name, but it's funny. It's catchy. Definitely a conversation piece. Who deal? Um, but ultimately, like seriously, do you think she will recover, or this is something that people have those moments in life that could inevitably just shut them down forever? Do you think she's gonna move past it?
Okay. Or, okay, so this is a soap opera. So she's got to move past it. Otherwise, who are you? What's the point? Like she's got to move past it. And if moving past it means it's Grayson or I don't know who else it would be for her. At this but
And I know you didn't mean it to be funny, but it is. I don't know who it would be. Because no one wants it. No one wants it. I don't know that she'll be able to realistically move on with Grayson and not feel like a horrible person. Um, but I also do feel like Ashley is a little bit self-righteous at times. Um, yeah. And so that might be just on brand for her to do all of that only to turn around and still be with Grayson anyway.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like okay, so I get it. She felt like what's his name, Derek, lied to her about being able to walk and all of that. But the extremes that she went to, I was like,
Yeah,
you know,
I would agree that the reaction didn't really align. And for him, that all of it was just stupid. The whole storyline to me was just stupid. I'm not gonna lie. Like, okay, you adrenaline junkie and you're gonna pretend like you got partial paralysis and all of that to trap somebody in a relate. All of it was just corny. It was really corny to me. So. All right. So let's move on. And speaking of guilt, what about Jacob and Grayson? Of course, we know that Jacob was a really close friend. Versus versus Grayson, who was not a very close friend. But do you think that the guilt will tear either of them apart?
I see how and why it would tear Jacob apart, knowing that his best friend died to protect him. Um, what I'm interested in is Derek's father and
Mhm.
what weeks he will go to, I don't know, protect his son's name or what have you. And the fact that, again, I hate the fact that on these soap operas, they never like take the time to explain things, like nip things in the bud. But I guess, that's the drama of it. I think the dad, this is just me hoping, because, I need my courtroom drama. I think the dad is going to sue Jacob. And then, of course, the Duprees are going to rally behind him and all of this. And he might, get a demotion or I don't know, something. But at the same time, I see no fault on Jacob's side. Like there's no fault. He couldn't leave because if he had left, he would have been found out, and then something would have happened to him. And at the end of the day, Derek went there on his own. No one asked him to come.
And they explicitly told you not to, and you missed your window to leave. And so that's the thing. You drew it out. You had a window and you missed it. And so yes, it's sad. There's no way you can try to explain things away to a grieving parent, especially in that moment. But I would agree with you. That would make for a really good courtroom drama if the dad tried to come for the department or what have you. I also did get slightly annoyed with the dad for approaching Jacob in the way that he did, even though I am no huge fan of Jacob as a cop. I feel like he's done a lot of dumb things and consistently does dumb things. However, that was not on his hands. It was not. I agree. So do you think the this tragedy and grief will somehow bring Grayson and Jacob to any type of friendship or anything like that?
I think Grayson is going to replace Derek as a friend. I think the show is trying to just get rid of that entire character, and Grayson's character is going to become Derek's character. Not, not really, but the relationship is going to be as solid as Derek and Ashley's relationship was supposed to be, and all that other good stuff.
And I truly and sincerely hope that it is in such a way that's not bore me senseless. Because my goodness, I cannot take another devastating Derek and Trashley. I cannot do it. It is too much and not enough all at the same time.
But I will say this, Grayson is compelling. Like, I don't get upset when I see him on television. You know what I'm saying? There was something about Derek, his presence just wasn't giving me hot fire.
I don't feel as strongly as when I see Ashley, but I consistently got annoyed with Derek. Consistently. So we have a ghost that's walking the streets. I know. So is Doug's return real or a mirage? Because Deanna is stunned when she looks up and sees the apparition of her late father, Doug. Is this an apparition or is Doug back for real?
So I think this is what I think. Okay, just to answer your question, I think he's a mirage. I think he's what did you say, an aberration? Mm-hmm. I think that's what he is right now. I think that what they're trying to do is that they're trying to bring him back. They want to see how we respond, and so far he's looking good. So and he doesn't annoy me because he used to annoy me as a character, but right now he's not annoying me
because he showed up looking like a 7-course meal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he didn't annoy me either. He looked very polished, very pristine. Okay, not like he just climbed up out of a grave, but climbed up out of the gym.
I want to see him in the locker room with Ted.
Why does Ted always have to be there?
I don't know. But since he is.
Like, why is he always the anchor? Ted and Tomas, Ted and Smitty. Ted is a recurring person that has to be in these locker room scenes.
Ted and Isaiah. Ted and Jacob. Ted and what's the one that's dating or married to Danny?
Andre.
All of them. Ted been in the locker room with all of them.
Yes. He was at the Club Fitness Center quite a bit, so perhaps we will get to see this new and reformed Doug in the in the locker room with Ted, of course. So is Doug appearing as a spiritual guide to kind of validate? And so going off of what you said, not discounting any of those things, but the second part of this, is he showing up as a spiritual guide to kind of validate Deanna's feelings and suspicions? Or is Deanna's grief causing her to lose her grip on reality?
Both. I think both will be part of the storyline. That girl is crazy. Don't listen to her. She's crazy. She's seeing my daddy. The brother is a number one defender.
He is. Deanna, she be running hot though.
Mm-hmm.
She be running hot. I will say that those two characters, whereas I don't know if I buy them as twins. I find Samantha and Tyrell a little bit more believable as twins, just a little bit. But they do both look like they could be the actual children of Doug and Vanessa.
Yeah.
I love that. So I don't want to say that. That's redundant. Let's get into this press room pandemonium with your friend Leslie. All right, so has Leslie
with her lying, crying eyes.
That girl is insane. I love her, but she's an absolutely gorgeous person. And when she comes, it's like, Lord have mercy, what this girl about to do now. So has she completely crossed the line? So she comes out, loses her composure, and weaponize the hospital press conference to cause maximum chaos. Has she officially crossed the line?
No, I don't think she crossed the line. In fact, I think she did herself a favor by not aligning herself with the actions of the impaler, if you will, and made it seem as if her employee was the one who saved the day. I thought that was masterful on her part, um, especially because she only found out about it moments before. So I was like, "Dang, your girl's brain, she be working."
She's not a dummy. Far from, far from it. And so I feel like this kind of answers it a bit, but on the other side of it, just the way in which she did it. So will this cartoonish villain behavior finally destroy her social standing in the States, or is she totally untouchable?
Okay, her image is already tarnished. Um, will
Tarnished?
it be further tarnished? No, it's not much lower that she can go.
Consistent. Consistent.
So, and what was it? It was either it was one or the other. What was the other one? Because I kind of felt
Um,
like it was both.
um, so will it destroy her social standing in the States, or or is she totally untouchable?
No, she's not totally untouchable. I think though that she's positioning herself very well. Her relationship with the detective, whatever his name is, can't think of it right now.
Malone.
Yeah, I think that is going to earn her some. I don't know, some. At some point, he's gonna come through for her. How, when, I don't know, but I think if she continues to string him along, I think that's gonna help her. Um, and I think whenever things get stale and they don't know what to do, they kind of sort of bring back the fact that she ran old girl off the road. I think that's something that they're gonna play out later, just not right now. And she's gonna get off. She's gonna get off.
Oh, yeah, she's say what you will or think what you will about Leslie, but she's very clever. She's
Mhm.
very, very clever. And so she got a lot of edge about herself, but as she has integrated herself into this very pristine society, I think she's holding her own. Like, albeit she be wrong as hell for a lot of things, but um I do not hate her character. I mean, you love to hate her character, right?
And when
So
it counts, she comes through. When it
yes,
counts.
yes, yes, yes. Um, so let's speaking of locker room Ted, but Ted outside of the locker room. All right, Dr. Richardson. Um, so is it over for Ted and Shanice? Do you think they have a chance? Because we see that Shanice officially kind of hits her absolute limit with Ted's toxic, never ending, so to speak, fixation with Leslie. Um, is it over for Ted and Shanice? Do they have a chance?
I think they have a chance. I think though what needs to be worked out is Nicole. I think that if Nicole says, "Yes, Ted, I want you," then no, Shanice and Ted do not have a chance. They just don't. That's the love of his life. Nicole is the love of his life. But I think if Nicole decides that she wants to be with Carlton or Kyle, that's it. She gonna be with Carlton or Kyle, and it ain't gonna be Ted. But it could be one of those situations where they go back and forth. They go back and forth. They go back and forth. And he might go back and forth between Shanice and Nicole.
I hate that Shanice is an afterthought. I don't love that for her. But Ted is a little toxic. He is. He's a little toxic because it's like, okay, I get it. But if I have to put myself in the shoes of a Shanice or even of a Nicole to understand it might why it might be like every single time I see you anywhere near this woman is beef. It is beef on site. It's on site. I don't care. Nope. If I would put myself in their shoes, you know. Um, but I think overall, Ted is a nice guy. He has a lot of toxic traits. He
Hmm.
does. I think he allows himself to get wrapped up in drama. Um, and so we'll see where that goes. I do not see Leslie waving the white flag anytime soon. As long as she has breath in that beautiful body of hers, I mean, she's a beautiful lady. I promise you, I would never have. I never wear clothes now. I was about to say, but if I had her shape, never. Okay, the woman is cold. So I just don't see her though throwing the white flag. I just don't see it.
This is what I wonder. If she were ever to get Ted, do you think that she would relax? Do you think that she would become like everybody else in Fairmont
Um,
Hills?
that is the dangerous thing. Honestly, I think she would. I do think that would be the one man that could probably actually, if he really, really showed up in that relationship and not just kind of did it just, to say, okay, I'm manipulating her. Like if it was really authentic, I think that would be the one man on earth that could actually tame her and get her to settle down. And I don't know that would be a great thing. I don't know.
No, not for this show. Not for
Yeah,
this.
I don't know. I will probably become very bored instantaneously. That um. So yeah, I do think she would calm all the way down. If you remember back to the earlier episodes where it was like, this woman is really crazy. Like she was trying on wigs, trying to look like Nicole and all of those things. And I was like, oh, she's really, really, really gone girl. Like, so that's how far she would be willing to take it behind how much she's obsessed, infatuated, and in love all at the same time with this man. So yes. So we know that Nicole has been having these nocturnal emissions in the day and nighttime too. Um Dayturnal emissions and nocturnal emissions about Ted. What are your thoughts, if any, on that?
What are my thoughts on nocturnal emissions? What are my thoughts on?
Salute, Big LY2K. Thank you for subscribing.
Um,
Both to answer your question.
I mean, nocturnal emissions are normal, natural. Nothing wrong with them whatsoever. I just think I mean, I think what she did when she was talking to Kyle, she named it. It was the situation. It was the date. It was all of that was wrapped up into it. Not to mention the fact that she had recently had sex with the man. So it doesn't necessarily surprise me that she's dreaming about him. It goes back to what I said earlier. What will Nicole do? It's at this particular point in time, it's time for you, Nicole, to decide who, or at least get rid of one or two of them.
Yeah, I would agree. Again, and I feel like we talked about this for weeks. Getting a little bored. So what are we doing? What's gonna come, if anything, of any of this? So so Ted gave Nicole a massive vote of confidence at the office, but it completely rubbed her the wrong way. About him feeling that she would be an amazing shoe-in as the chief of staff for Garland Memorial, right? So is Nicole letting her secret spark with Kyle ruin her professional dynamic with Ted? If it's even related to her outright telling him no or getting frustrated, it may be no correlation at all with Kyle.
Is she letting her what?
Is she letting her her spark with Kyle ruin her professional dynamic with Ted?
No, I don't think anything that she does is going to affect Ted. I think Ted is just going to keep coming any way that he can. But I do think that what Kyle said. I do think that what Kyle said was quite insightful, and I hadn't even thought of it until he mentioned it. It was just like, hey, this is just a way for him to, maintain some type of professional relationship with you that he otherwise would not have had. And as a member of the board, he's going to, communicate with you a whole lot more. So what he did was actually smart, but I also like what Kyle did when he pivoted and he was just like, put that to the side. I think you would be a great chief. And I happen to agree.
Okay. So Nicole Dupree, Chief of Staff, Garland Memorial, power move.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't disagree. I'm just interested to see what they're going to do with that. And I mentioned it last time. It is hilarious that the Duprees rolled up with Leah still chained to the hospital bed, pending litigation. It was like, yeah, so here's our nominee. And so I really thought that was funny. I'm like, these people got some balls of steel, and I love it. And I also am a little bit concerned at the same time. So we do know that Haley is still killing Bill softly. And he severe. He has these tremors that are happening now. What do you think? Your thoughts about how Haley is pretty much puppeteering Bill by playing the dutiful wife and making the suggestion to go to the hospital, but really she's manipulating him to not go to the hospital. What are your thoughts about Haley? I gotta mention our resident psychopath, Haley.
I mean, it's the same thing. Like, this is like months in the making, and like nothing has really changed about her. I do think though that she's doing a really good job of, letting him know that she cares for him. Da da da. Da. She won't be someone that he naturally thinks is doing this to him if and when he finds out. Like, she's gonna have to like make a huge mistake in order for him to even consider her.
So Haley is a mastermind at being duplicitous, and it's like you want to strangle her, but at the same time it's like, okay, you are more than a con artist. Like, you are just an artist in general. You really are. And the fact that you cannot see that Bill's suits are horrible from episode to episode. I don't know what it is. And I'm obsessed with the fashion on the show. Just how they have just handpicked these amazing pieces for these characters to wear. Are we purposely dressing Bill this way because he was the Alcorn? I don't understand. I don't. It's
Oh my God!
It's giving Mississippi circa 1969 when he got ends, and when I say ends, I mean stacks on stacks on stacks. He has the money. He's gone to the prestigious university in the realm of this universe. Why are we dressing him like Chicken George with these suits? I don't know. That's the thumbnail. We should have had. This is gonna be a separate segment. We're gonna develop a separate segment dedicated to Bill suits. I need answers. I am not a man. Okay, I'm not a man. So just from your lens, because I've known you a long time, and when you step out, you step out. What are your thoughts on Bill suits?
This is a horrible question. It's not. It does nothing for him. It does nothing for him. That's what I think. Yeah. There's not much that I could add to that. It really doesn't.
I know that you have, with our lovely relationship, and we're great. You have no problem disagreeing with me. And so this is why I specifically asked, because I knew you would say, well, no, this is this and this is that. And you would explain it to me in a very analytical and deep way as to why I am incorrect or why you respectfully disagree with what I'm saying. You have not done that. So this lets me know. This lets me know that that beyond the gates, the suit section is coming. Oh my God. Let it go. Let it go. We'll circle back around to that off camera because it's a thing for me. Moving on. So Danny tears into Bill. Speaking of Bill, we're gonna leave his suits alone. So she completely demolishes Bill, right, over her selective memory, or over his rather selective memory as it pertains to the resident creep Mike. And so she tears into Bill. So can Bill survive Danny's wrath?
No. No. Oh, okay. So this is what, like, that put things into perspective. Like that whole conversation, or I should say, tongue lashing that she gave him. It put into perspective why Naomi really didn't want to work for him. Even though she says that, it wasn't a conversation that she had with Naomi about, Mike, but putting two and two together, she was just like, "Come on now, Bill. Like, think about that for a second. He's gonna bow his head to you because you're the man. It's your firm, but he's not gonna bow to anybody else." And what do you think happened or could have happened between Mike and Naomi when she interned?
Oddly enough, he does it in front of him, right? And we talked about this last episode. Like, I was surprised that Bill didn't have more of a reaction, which I do understand. Again, I don't live behind the gates. I don't have that kind of upbringing, and I wasn't. Yeah, so I get that. Your first go-to cannot be violence, but some shit is just primal. She's your daughter, adult or not. He has been extremely disrespectful. I'm wondering what happened. Did he grab her butt cheek? Did he say some type of sexual innuendo to Naomi? Like, I'm wondering what happened that is not being said. I'm very curious about it. But
we will find out later.
Hopefully, before 2 years from now. Real time, 2 years. So I really don't want to go there. So Anita and Vernon. So let's get it on edition. And so I don't want to ask the question the way that I have it formulated, but Kat and Martin's reaction to their grandparents trying to get a little intimate. What were you thinking when you saw that?
Beyond the overacting, first off, if I were ever to see something like that, I wouldn't. No noise. I just would have been like, "Whoop."
Exit.
Turn right.
I have posed this question to someone else, and I feel like we're all on the same page in the same book, same paragraph. Why would you, Kat? She got on my nerve. First of all, you're a guest. Second of all, you have your own business, Chelsea Cat. You the cat and Chelsea Cat. Why are you staying in the people's house? Okay, go on about your business. Get you a studio, a sheet pad, whatever you want to do. But for you to get there and do all of that, I just felt was like, it was a little too much. They can get frisky in their living room, the kitchen, whatever in the estate they want to.
Or even the need to go get drinks afterwards. Like, that is not worthy of getting drinks afterwards. Like, they do this. They kiss a little too much for you not to know they're not still knocking boots.
Your grandmother just beat cancer. She could be butt naked on a coffee table, snorting lines of coke off Vernon's stomach if she wants to. Mind your business, little girl. Mind your business. That's just how I felt about it. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit annoyed with them. Like, really? If they didn't see you, you excuse yourself immediately. Everybody should know the rule.
Exactly.
I don't know. To me, it's just a little silly. So Madison, I found this just odd, very odd with the complete 180, right? We're so anti when it comes to her mom, and everything is a huge deal to the point of her snapping on Chelsea, when Chelsea tries to give her mom grace and all of this. So now she wants to have this reconciliation or have her mom come to the wedding. What What are your thoughts on that? I just thought it was weird.
Boring,
But
boring, boring.
but
I,
you ringing the
look,
boring bell.
I think the impetus behind that is the whole case. Number one is boring. Number two, that's their way of backtracking. But so at the end of the day, I just think the whole thing is boring. Like, just let us forget about it. Like, come on now. Like, it's not
Let's not drag this out.
at this point. Just get rid of Madison. I just I, I need something stimulating. I need something to be titillating.
That's this is why my brain wants her. You know, of course, I love the Doug angle better, but like, let her be the impaler. Let her have lied or something about who her family is, something, because it's just, I don't think there's depth. Now, don't get me wrong. In real life, yes, there are just genuinely clean cut people that have done maybe some little things in their life, whatever. You don't have to be a bad guy. It didn't have to be that. But this is a soap opera. So again, I am ringing the boring bell right along with you as it pertains to this. And I'm so glad that you are who you are and you answer the question in the way in which you did. Because again, ring, boring. Got it. Noted. All right. So last question, not a great question, but I'm asking nonetheless. So the Dupree family, do you think they're actually ready to heal, or are there just too many buried secrets to ever truly move on? Are they ready to heal? They've been through and are dealing with quite a bit. Are they ready to actually heal, or are there just too many buried secrets that are keeping them from actually moving on?
Well, what secret you talking about?
So
Did I miss it?
you have Martin, and that whole cover up that
Oh,
lots of them are involved in. You have the murder that they're aware of, all of these things. God knows what else Vernon has going on with Joey and Bill. Um, and so yeah.
no, I think okay. So number one, this is a soap opera, and so therefore, a lot of skeletons are always going to come out. I need more skeletons to come out, though. I need people trying to protect their skeletons. I'm not seeing a whole lot of people protecting their skeletons, and protecting skeletons is what makes it juicy and drama filled, and I want to see it. You know what I'm saying?
I need Doug's skeleton, exoskeleton, dermis, epidermis, all the things to come back completely, and not just as an apparition.
So let me say, if Doug comes back as a real person and not a mirage or whatever, that's a skeleton.
A big one.
Okay. Yeah. Like, I'm not thinking that they're going to expose Joey's businesses or anything like that, but definitely the fact that she was sleeping with Joey while she was married with Doug, and then if old boy that she used to sleep with from when the show first started,
She was spreading monkey all across the fair amount.
yeah, and people knew. So that's a good one. Or what if Doug comes back and then we find out that Doug has some kids somewhere one night from when he was drunk and didn't know he had
Not Doug with the secret love shot. Hold on, let's take a quick detour. Did I have to mention that Doug had them damn pristine Jordans in his damn locker? That pissed me off a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, did y'all have to bring that up when she went to get his stuff? I had a pair of Jordans, and they were in great condition. My face.
Why? Because it was a white woman saying it.
Let's move on. Let's move on. Because it's just I don't know if it was a white woman saying it or because it was a black doctor, a black man in general. Let's take the doctor out of it. That it was a black man and we're bringing up him having Jordans in his locker that were in great condition that annoyed the hell out of me. Like, I'm like, can we just have focused on the little totem that was his little good luck charm and all of that and not bring out the conversation of Jordans? Completely off-putting for me, but anyone else in the world probably didn't give it a second thought. But that annoyed the hell out of me. It did. It just did. Anyway. All right. So from Mayfair to 10, the week of May 25th, episodes of Beyond the Gates.
I'm gonna give it a 7. It wasn't a snooze fest. Yes, it had its moments where it wasn't that great. The conversation that Martin had with Tyrell, where he admitted to Tyrell that he had sex with a woman prior to being gay, and then Tyrell doubled down on old girl, which I thought he was gonna let her go after all of that. Because to me, Martin was basically saying, "Hey, you can find your forever after your first." That's what. But for a second, I also thought, are they trying to say Tyrell gonna be gay too?
That was my first thought, actually, and so I don't know that I put that thought away because I don't think that Tyrell and thank you for bringing it up because I didn't address that today. The way in which Tyrell responded to the conversation, it doesn't give that the mountains were moving and all of, and nobody's first time is like that. Not realistically. You read romance novels and all these things, you expect certain things, but that's everyone that I've talked to. No one's first time was like that. There was no fireworks, there was none of that. It was awkward, it was weird for everybody that I met. Now, for me, I do feel like there's like an undertone there. Like, okay, I don't think he enjoyed himself. And I think that Jessica is a bit too much of a strong personality for Tyrell's personality type. And so opposites do attract, but I think with her, it's on steroids. She oversteps, overextends. It's just, I feel like her personality, her character traits are just too much for him. And whether he's gay or not, I just do not think she is the person for him. I just do not. I don't think it at all. But I feel like they left it open enough to where that could be something that will be explored. So thank you for bringing that up. I would agree.
So we know that he's going to go to college soon, right? And, soap operas, what they typically do is you go off and, a new character comes along. I don't know if I'm going to like a new character because I'm so invested with Tyrell, right? At this point, I'm so invested with him. But if they do that, a new character could bring new dynamics. And he could experience, you go to college, you experience a lot. And your personality changes a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And who knows what we'll get.
I'm interested to see it. Who knows? He may be bisexual. Who knows?
Well,
Maybe
I'm not
maybe.
I'm not putting that on him. I'm not. It was just the tenor of the conversation had me thinking that. But at the very least, what I was really, really thinking was at the end of that conversation, he's gonna leave old girl alone. That's what I thought would happen.
No, he definitely doubled down. And I can't say surprised, but just a bit taken aback. But I don't see it lasting because she even tried to give him like a soft landing, but she is just hot and ready like Little Caesar's pizza. Like she is not a bit more worried about Tyrell. Not even. So for me, it was about a 6. It was about a 6 for me. The memorial, I love the way that they did that piece. But a lot of, and it was only 4 episodes. A lot of what we got out of these 4 episodes, just, I don't know. It just didn't land for me. I got bored quite a bit. I had to keep restarting to keep falling asleep watching it, or just like scrolling on my phone. You fell asleep. Okay, you fell asleep twice and they get a 7. For me, I'm just giving it a 6. And it wasn't just because, oh, I'm tired. No, I'm doing other things like, oh, what piece of jewelry am I gonna wear next? I'm gonna order some new glasses. Whatever. I was doing everything else while these episodes were playing. So for me, it was about a 6. So I'm hoping next week, well, this week anyway, we have 5 hopefully fresh episodes coming. We will see what they do with them, and hopefully it'll go beyond a 6 for me.
You know what? So, okay, so I think they're still using what used to happen like in the 80s, right? So they would drag these stories out because they knew at most people would watch once, twice a week. And, because even in the dialogue, they kind of catch people up. But we're not living in that age anymore. We have not DVRs, whatever we call it. We can record and go back, right? And for the most part, people are watching every single episode. So speed this shit up.
Yeah, we are very much microwave. We want it hot, fast, and now. The trifecta of impatience. And so yeah, so hopefully
even if they didn't do that, I guess this would be like a reason to have more characters on the show. I'm not certain that they have enough characters to give us that sense of, oh, it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. Or some characters be involved in more than one plot line at a time.
Okay. I would agree. So we will see. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. We will be right back with you on Sunday, going beyond the gates to see what they have for us next. Also, do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share.
Well, also, go ahead and let people know what we're going to be covering.
Coming up next, we will be covering Supercell. So join us for Thursday for Supercell. Let's get into something exciting, something fresh, something new, something a little bit dangerous, but something that's coming for you. So join us on Thursdays for Supercell. Also, the Vampire Lestat. We're going into Anne Rice's universe. Yes. The person that we are all obsessed with, or the mortal rather. So be our companion. Join us for that. So I'm gonna tell you something. Yes. They'll be my companion. It's just never gonna go away. We've done the French white, we've done the white Russian, we've done it all. So we're gonna continue to do those things. All right, we will see you all very soon.
We've got questions and we know you have answers, so make love to our senses in the comments. Drop them down below.